everyone, it's Nadia Monet with Lips of Flame. Keep a flapping. I will, forever. Whew, it's hot in here. In this thick sweater. Okay, Mummy gave me. Okay, so now I'm here to share you another story. So it's that, what is it? The racist death threat, attempted murder attack. When was it? Thursday. Whoa. Was that yesterday? No, Wednesday. Okay, so I got a suing thing in the mail from Busick, from that guy Busick, Timothy Busick. And yeah, I figured, he would have to summon me to court. That's the only way I'd answer. Because he kept sending me letters from his lawyer, and it said reconciliation. And I'm like, that obviously means it's my choice. I don't have to pay. And the letter he sent me said $79. And I sent it to his lawyer. And his lawyer sent me a letter back saying, oh, there's a typo. It's supposed to be $279. So I never answered. I thought, well, I'm like, if they're really serious, they'll summon me to court or something. So I'll just wait for that. And that's what happened. And I'm like, yeah, that's the only way to get through to me and talk to me. I'm not gonna talk to you after the way you treat me. You're gonna have to go through a third party. You're gonna have to jump through a lot of hoops on fucking fire to get in contact with me, because I'm not gonna contact you. You're gonna have to contact me through a third party. And more powerful than the lawyer of the law. And I just realized I made a mistake too. I didn't have to, and I had a feeling. I was like, maybe I should wait until the day before. Maybe something might happen. And a couple things did. I didn't understand properly until later after I paid it, but I wonder if I can get a refund on part of it. But anyway, okay, so saying he's gonna sue me for like $600 for treatment. He didn't do shit. And I did pay on July 19th, $137. And like at the end of July 27th, like a week later, he fired me. So it's like, what was it? He didn't give me any treatment for that $137. So what the fuck is the rest of the balance up to $671 for? Oh, they were his lawyer's fees and some other fees added on to it, the $279. And no, I'd rather pay the $671 through the summons rather than a $279 from a lawyer, because I was never gonna answer a lawyer. Anyway, okay, so it said I could pay it all off before the hearing was set for suing me on April 24th. It said anytime before then I can come to the 715 Calhoun Street Courthouse. And I can pay it off at the child support room, child support payment, room 200. And, I didn't know, but then I got bored. I was like, okay, I might as well go today. I want to have some fun. I was bored. And, and you don't need an appointment. So, of course, the neighbors told, which, of course, I don't care about. And, it doesn't matter anyway, because they're not going to know where I'm going, because I make U-turns and stuff, and I drive back and forth, so they don't know where I'm going. That was fun. Okay. So anyway, I drove around for an hour on different parts of town, because there were stalkers following me. They follow me from my neighborhood, Springfield, Glen Villas, and then Arlington Heights. They'll like drive slowly because their timing is off. They're just sitting there, who knows for how long. And this is something only the neighbors attached to my wall right over there can tell them. Just, oh, she's leaving. That's it. Nothing useful. They can't give them any useful information. And And so they're just sitting there in Arlington Heights in their cars. And whatever way they turned, like one started driving behind me. And I'll go off in a different direction, you know. And sometimes they follow me, and I'll just park in a parking lot, and then they'll park in a different parking lot, and then I'll leave. And so they don't know where. So now I put that little stickly, prickly porcupine, and what did they say? And in their little stalking plans. Yeah. It's like, I bet they didn't think that. I bet they thought that, well, now, I bet they thought I'd let them stalk me, drive behind me. I'm like, no, it's too easy. It's too easy to lose them. So, anyway, yeah, or they thought, oh, as long as her attached, voyeuristic spy neighbors, as long as they tell us, yeah, we got it, we're in, you know, because we'll just drive and follow her, and she won't do any. She'll, you know, they weren't even thinking she won't do anything. They'll just think, oh, she'll just drive and we'll follow her, and she won't care. I'm like, no, I'm like, it really doesn't matter whether they tell you, because I lose them anyways. They didn't expect that. Okay, and okay, so I left at like 9, and then I was driving around for an hour, and they're all going nuts and crazy. They're all going at the doctor's offices, any place I've been to before, grocery stores, and just camping out there. Where's this girl? Where's this bitch? Where's this bitch? Where's she going? Where's she going? And the Kraybers they're all fighting with each other, which is what I like. They're turning on each other. Well, what are you guys useful for? Where is she going? We don't know. At least we told you she left. That's what the Kraybers are here at 5432 are telling. You know, Heidi, Dominic, the mysterious third border, and who we all know want to leave and hate doing this is pointless. They're just pretending to act like they want to do it. We all know they want to leave. They want to go and go to sleep. Okay, anyway, so anyway, any place I've been, nail salons, hair salons, they're all waiting like dogs. And I finally show up to that parking garage on Clinton Street. And they're trying to downplay it so I won't come up here and tell you. And the police are in charge of that parking lot. And they've already been getting a lot of great publicity, wonderful publicity, magnificent news about how they handle cases like mine. And anyway, so I go in there. I drive in there, and they're trying to act all clever, so I won't tell, which is what I am. And I go in there, I park my car, and it's way too full in there. And then some, like I said, some old guy, you can hear all these voices that start, they're literally making themselves nuts and going seriously mentally insane over this. Can't blame them though. Anyway, they're all screaming out after I park my car, and he's trying to scare a woman into thinking he's gonna rape them. This male is told to act violent right next to me, and he's like yelling something, screaming, pretending he's screaming at someone. And then when I get out of my car, all these other guys start screaming, but like, I don't know if they're construction guys. I didn't look over. I wasn't interested, and I was focused on something else. I had to get the summons out of the trunk of my car, and I had my scarf on, so I really couldn't see that much. And then there are all the some other stalkers yelling, and it was 10:15 when I got there. So I left my house at 9. I got there at 10:15. So the Skamabers behind me, they're telling them, maybe she's going to a court. Maybe just drive, go to all the places, check. So they send stalkers. They don't know where to sit. You know, they're skimpy on stalkers. They don't want to waste their time. They don't have enough stalkers to send to all these places. So anyway, my point is they've been waiting like dog slaves, which is what I love, and which is exactly what I wanted, since probably 7, 8 a.m. And they all looked angry and frustrated that they waited. My point is the police are in charge of the parking garages, and they must have had help. They definitely had help of at least one dirty cop. It's not all of them. One or some dirty cops. And letting them camp out there and wait. And I want you to see, I know this sounds nuts and when it comes out of my mouth, I know it sounds really crazy. This is what I want you to see and hear. So they were hiding in their cars, camping out, like at least 2 hours before I got there in the freezing cold, unless they wanted to spend their gas on me and keep their cars heated. And so anyway, I went over there. I got in there. I got out. They're all screaming and yelling. And then when I turn around to leave, well, then they're making like gun gestures at me. And then when I turn around, they're all screaming. And then one guy says, "Hey, what is she doing here?" And I kept walking. And then there was this car. They act like they have good timing. When I was like, "How long have you been here? You must have been camping there at least 2 hours." This car blocks me. And then this other car starts backing out. It almost hits my hip. I don't move. I'm like, "You hit me good. I will scream so fucking loud and I will fall and the police will have to be called. And we're going to go through that cell phone of yours. Finally, an investigation can be open. They can take your cell phone." Yeah, the one who helped you, the dirty cop who helped you, these are situations I love, where they're forced to turn on you to do their job. It's like they're going to choose their job over not turning on you. Because I go public with this stuff, so they would have to do their job. Anyway, then as I'm walking out, more stalkers are crossing this, they start walking past me. They're going inside the garage as I'm walking out on the sidewalk. Then they're all screaming across the street. And so I'm still walking. And then they're all like, all of a sudden, they're like coming, gather. It's like, you could tell they knew if I wasn't coming or not. They weren't sure. And then this guy starts walking past and staring at me and snarling at me. And he goes down the steps. I think it was at the building, the police station. You know that huge building where we're on Main Street where that police station is? I think it's right next to the courthouse. He starts going down the cement steps, snarling. A group of girls come across the street and they all snarl and stare at me, and then they're all screaming and yelling. Does she speak English? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, and then also back up as I'm leaving. Well, before all of that, when I'm leaving the parking garage, a cop car slowly drives by, not to protect me, to show that his alliance with them, to show him that he's allowing them permission, and he's mad about the wonderful, wonderful publicity they're getting, and the commendations they're getting, the trophies they're getting. He's so bothered by that then his car comes in and slowly blocks me after the first car. Anyway, I'm going out on the street, and then that courtyard where you start walking to 715 Calhoun Street. All of them, now again, they're all, I don't know, they have live feeds but this is not easy. A huge crowd starts walking in right when I do. And they weren't there before. And like I said, working like, panting after like dogs. They all waited, I don't know, in the bushes out in the streets. When I started walking, I guess I call it the square. Where all the trees and I guess some benches, maybe not some benches, but cement, where the walkway is, where you go into 715 Calhoun Street, or a couple of those doors are locked. Anyway, they all go in street clothes. They all go in there. I didn't notice this at first until later. Because then I think of things that were against policy that I can use against him to post up here. And I didn't think about it I didn't realize this till later. I was like, oh my God, till like days later, I was like, oh my God, they all disappeared. Okay, so all these civilians, they're not even employees, they walk in, or maybe they were employees and they were told to dress like civilians to try and confuse me or something so they won't get in trouble. Anyway, or they'll get in trouble for not dressing up. Anyway, they all go in before me and they all disappear. Now, I didn't notice that at that time. And, okay, they all disappear. They're not in that security. In that security, like airport security, where the security guard, they scan you. Well, there's a female there. And there are these two stalkers. They were purposely blocking me. And security's in on it, too. And they were letting them. And I was standing there for, I think 5 minutes. And they were pretending to read something. They were standing there. And that female security guard and the guys, they were letting them. And finally they told them to move. Again, denial of service, stalling. And they weren't even, those two stalkers that were blocking me, they weren't even being scanned. They were just blocking me, and then they left to make sure I knew that that's not normal and nobody does that. And only Home Depot and Walmart and Springfield, Glen Village would only tell them to do that. Anyway, and I still just couldn't get it. Anyway, they purposely, this never happened before, they purposely kept having the alarm go off, all just to make me take off my shoes. You know, to try and make me walk on broken glass, which they failed. She's like, are you wearing a belt? I said, no. And then she said, your shoes? She'd say, take them off. And I didn't do anything. And then she said, what about your shoes? And I said, oh, you want me to take them off? And she was like, get dirty. And, I don't understand. They're all leather in there. And then it stopped beeping. And I was like, they could have been purposely making it beep red. I'm like, why would it beep when I walk through when I don't have any metal on my leather shoes? And all of a sudden it stops beeping when it goes through the scanner, when it has no metal. Because she was saying, do you have any metal on you? I told her no. And so yeah, can someone check on that to make sure? And they forced me to take off my shoes. And then she goes, and then that guy said, clothing optional. And she goes, don't even get me started on removing her clothes. And then they were laughing. Is that normal talk or is that weird? And, okay, so then I asked them where the elevator is and they tell me. And again, they have a stalker. Now remember, they're all waiting like dogs. They're frustrated. And they're trying really hard to act like they have good timing when they had no idea what was coming. And remember, I said there are stalkers at doctor's offices, salon, you know, they don't know. It's funny. And this big fat white lady, she goes, she acts like she's going to walk out. She steps out and then she blocks me. And then she steps back in the elevator when the door's open. And she goes, I'm going in the basement. Where are you going? And I didn't know if that was normal or not. I wasn't going to answer. Because I thought this person is mentally ill. My mom tells me these people are crazy. Don't engage with them, you know. Because she says they might hurt you physically. So, I just quietly said too. I didn't know if that was normal or if I had to tell. And then, she was holding the elevator door. And, well, before I said two, she goes, where are you going? And then, I didn't say anything at first. She goes, she said, you're going to have to tell me or you can't come on here. And then she goes, I'm just kidding. And then I just said two. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, you can come on. And, yeah, they're just trying to exude power where they don't have it. Control where they don't have it. So, and, again, I don't know why they showed that. That's like embarrassing themselves. That's like saying, look at all these stretch marks I got from giving birth. Look at this stitch that ripped open my vagina. I'm so proud to show. Come on. Anyway, oh, my kid was born blind. I'm so proud. Look at his eyes. No, I'd rather have him be born blind. No, being sighted, that's not challenging enough. You know, no one's proud of that. That's like, I feel like it's that type of stuff they're trying to show. Which is exactly why we don't get along. I would not be showing. But hey, it's for me, so. Anyway, over me and for me. Anyway, so then I'm going upstairs and she's staring at me. And she's like, oh, how much did that jacket cost? And I didn't answer. I thought that was weird. And then I got off. And then some guy was waiting for me. He was like, it's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. He like, look, snarl, kind of grunt. You know, to make sure I knew that no one says that. Same with the elevator lady. To make sure I knew that nobody says that. And only Home Depot, Walmart, and the Scottsfield Neighbors Home to say that. So we all better watch it. Because that's why they're doing this. Because you're all complimenting them. And anyway, so yeah, and he's trying to act like, like, oh, it's a coincidence, oh, I'm not saying anything to you, so don't say anything about me, on your blog. But then, girl is snarling to make sure I knew that, again, that's not normal. Only someone would have had to bag him or bribe him to do that. Like I said, sloppy blowjobs and bags of Cheetos, with 5 Cheetos in it. Anyway, then a door slams, and a door slams really loud. And then the Parkview copycat, again, to make sure I knew that HomeDepot, Walmart, Scottsfield Neighbors, and Parkview copycat, that's their trademark harassment, welcoming trademark. And I heard a door slam really loud. So now I'm on the second floor of 715 Calhoun Street, where room 200 is, right after I get off the elevator. And then I hear a voice yell, "Hey, what's she doing here? What's she doing? Get out!" And I don't know where they came from, like one of the offices. So I go to room 200, and again, there's another stalker waiting. And then the lady was confused about the payment and stuff, and then she kept asking the second cashier who's leaving, all because they didn't want the stalker behind me, which I had no idea was behind me. They leave. So the line can get really, really long. And they leave so the line can get really, really long. And so they can come up behind me and block me and blackmail, like harass me, try and scare me and stuff, intimidate me, these guys or females. In this particular situation, guys. So the second cashier left, and I kept asking questions, and she didn't know. Now, I don't know if it was an act or what. She was just stalling just to get more stalkers to come in behind me. And then, the second cashier, she leaves. And obviously, because if she were there, that stalker behind me, he would have been fake helped with that second cashier. So the second cashier leaves, all so the stalker can come up behind me and just make sure I know that that's not normal, and he's there to watch me. Oh, yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy yourself. All I want to say is, where were your binoculars? Why didn't you bring that, or your telescope? And well, I hope you enjoy yourself watching me. I know you did. Anyway, so then takes a while for her to do it, and then the other cashier comes back, and then she says, pre-judgment, you have to pay everything. So it's like, if this is a mistake, I'll just call back and get it fixed. I paid. That bastard Busick, it's like another $30 to charge on a credit card. And it was his lawyer's fees plus it was $279 plus another $200 or $250 for him paying for a lawyer, and then another $87 for having it messengered to me, which it wasn't. I mean, it was sent through the mail, but I guess it's considered the same thing if a lawyer mails it. And so yeah, and I thought I thought I didn't have to pay the lawyer's fees. I said, it says on the back that the day of the hearing that'll be decided. So I figured it meant I felt like I still get to make a decision on whether I pay the lawyer. I thought that's what it meant, that Nadia makes a decision on whether she pays the lawyer's fees, but she definitely has to pay the $279 to Busick, but not the $250 or the $87, and maybe some more, whatever equals $671 or $650 or something. And they said, oh, the prejudgment, the whole thing has to be paid. So I thought maybe there's nothing, I'm not understanding all of it, which was true, I wasn't. I didn't realize it till when I got home. And because on way on the back it said the lawyer's fees and the rest of the fees beside the $271, that'll be decided by the judge on the day of the hearing. And I was like, I didn't want to go, so. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know how much of a difference that would make if a judge would have forced me to pay it if I showed up at the hearing. Or I don't know if they force a person to pay anyway if they show up to a hearing, or if when they show up to the hearing, the judge will reject Busick and say no, she's not paying for that. She'll just pay $271. I didn't understand it while they were talking. I was confused at that desk. I didn't realize it till I got home. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he would have made me pay. I don't know about that legal stuff. I don't know if it makes a difference whether we show up or not, if the judge makes us pay for the plaintiff's attorney fees and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't understand that until like yesterday I got home. And okay, so anyway, that guy, well, first of all, there was a guy when the second cashier was there, he like looked at me and snarled. He's like, what did she do? Blah, blah, blah. And then they're both laughing. I can't remember what other comment, I don't know like what country she's from, stuff like that. And then they were laughing, and the second cashier was looking at me laughing. This is room 200 where you pay child support. And then he left, and then a second cashier left, and I didn't know a stalker was behind me. And then when that girl was done after a while, even she didn't know. I'm like, why do they put people to work here unless she's faking it to stall? And yeah, I noticed that every time I ask questions or I talk more, they'll have stalkers come up behind me or surround me or something. I don't know why. I know that has something to do with the bad intentions. I can't think of anything why that's bad. That actually helps me and flatters me. That, hey, you're coming here and getting and wanting attention from me. You're embarrassing, debasing, degrading yourselves all, I don't know why. Yeah, if I have questions or I talk or something, then that's when they all come around. I don't know. But that to me is embarrassing. That's putting me on a pedestal. I don't see how that hurts me. That just compliments me. That's how I feel about it. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand what the intent is. If there's something there. I don't know if there's a specific reason why they do that. But yeah, if I talk or ask questions, then they'll all start coming and surrounding, embarrassing themselves, which I would never give attention to someone like, because of this. You're, ego boost, they're putting me on a pedestal. Nadia, you're queen, you're great, that's what they're saying. And, but again, I don't know, that's obviously the message they don't want to send. I'm sure it's a negative one. That I don't know. I don't know, why they're doing, like, what's the bad message they're trying to send? That I can't figure out what. I don't mind it. I actually love it, though, because that tells me I'm important. And they're not. So anyway, so then when I turn on this guy is blocking me, and there's more screaming and yelling outside. Outside in the hall and in the lobby. And he's blocking my way. And then again, he's snarling at me, and they're talking about a Trump and immigration. And then I felt something like a crunchy noise, and I picked it up, and I was going to throw it back on the floor. And then I thought maybe I might get in trouble, and then I knew it was put there on purpose, to try and make me trip and fall and break my neck. Attempted murder. They're trying to make me slip. And I opened up, it said child support, and I think it was his. They wanted to check and see if I, suck up to him. So I just put it on the table. I didn't know if it was, again, at the time when you're living it, you don't think of these things till you get home. And I thought maybe it was, I thought, maybe it was by accident a piece of trash. So now had I would have known it was planted there, which I didn't know at that time while I was living through that moment, I would have seriously thrown it back on the floor. But I thought, it's a mistake. I thought maybe it fell out of his pocket, or I thought maybe I did step on something. And I just opened it up, and then I put it back on the counter. And they were staring at me. And then later when I got home, I was like, wait a second. I realized, I was like, wait a second. That wasn't there, that crumpled piece of paper. It wasn't there when I walked in. So he purposely planted it there, knowing I'd turn around and step on it. They're trying to make me slip and fall, break my neck, see attempted murder. And then they get mad when I tell what they do. I'm like, what's the matter? Aren't you proud? Well, why aren't you? I mean, I don't get it. Anyway, it's like they do these illegal things that everybody said that should not be happening. You need to report that. That's what people told me. They do that type of stuff, and then they get, start crying. Yeah, they can't handle the criticism. Well, don't gang stalk. Or continue to gang stalk and get the bad treatment and the criticism. But you're not going to have both where you do it and you do it in silence and nobody knows. Those days were never gone because that never happened. I'm sure other victims told, but yeah. I'm like, they act shocked, like I really thought, hey, you were going to stay quiet. Anyway, it's getting really hot. This is a new sweater my mom gave me. It's really hot, please. Ooh. Okay, so what am I doing? Okay, so anyway, okay, so as I'm going out again, so as I'm walking out again, people are screaming, they're jumping up and down. Then more racist comments, stuff like that. It smells, but it smells like spices from India, blah blah blah. I'm not even Indian. Not there's anything wrong with it. And then they're all surrounding me, then going up and down the stairs when I'm getting off the elevator, and screaming, yelling. And then when I come downstairs where the security was, now there's like 30 stalkers there, and they all looked frustrated. I don't know how long they were there. They were called. I'm pretty sure they were at home, and they're, oh, she's here. And they didn't have time to come earlier, and then there were like 30 of them. Or they're thinking, again, for a control tactic, shh, so as to not make her mad. We don't want to make her mad, quote unquote. When we all know I'm not mad. They're the ones who are mad. They're flattered. Again, they're humiliating, debasing themselves. And yeah, I don't get the end game. How... So this is supposed to do what again? They just do it and nothing happens. I'm sure they're doing it for something. Anyway, yeah, they're being told at the end rather than the beginning when I came out. Yeah, have just 2 little stalkers block her, and then she won't be mad. She won't tell anyone. Shh. So they don't really believe that. They're trying to forge a connection with me because they knew it was over before I was born. They've never had a connection with me. They've never had control over me. So they're trying to keep a connection as a control tactic, which I'm in control of everything. I decide whether what happens or not. And it hasn't happened, and it never will. And yeah, like, oh, let's do this to make her act calm. Even though we know, even if we disappeared, she'd still do the same thing at the same level. Whether we disappeared, did it to full force, almost in between a little bit, back to They know, hey, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, living, I seriously love the way they act. Like, the way they act has a bearing on my actions. And, they act like it, but they know inside, nothing's going to change. But like I said, as a control tactic, they do that, which is funny and pathetic. And, okay, so anyway, so then as I'm going out, there's like 30 of them screaming and stuff again. Like death, about shooting me, right in front of security, and they're laughing. They're talking about, like, hey girl, you're lucky that wasn't a grenade, and stuff like that. And they're talking about bombing, shooting. This is how shootings happen. And the security guards would be blamed, among other, I don't know who else is involved, who gave them permission, the cop that was there. And anyway, there's no way that cop can track me when I was coming in. So he's a part. So complain to the mayor and say that there's no way the cop could track Nadia. He was stalking her in the, I don't know, maybe cameras out on the traffic streets. I don't know. That's hard to do. But yeah, that cop car had to have been parked somewhere and waiting for my car to come. He probably parked on the side of the street for, I don't know, 1-2 hours, just like the stalkers camped inside the parking garages off of Clinton Street. And he had to have been parked somewhere from far away. And then when I got in, that's when he drove in. Someone had to have texted him. Like I said, policemen aren't Superman. Someone had to have texted him and said, oh, she's walking out. And then that's when he drove in. That's that's when I was before I went inside the building when I first came in. Anyway, back to me leaving. Fast forward back to where I'm leaving. They're all threatening me, 30 of them, along with security. Yeah, and I was only there 15 minutes, and all of a sudden, exactly. It's like, where did the stalkers come from? And they looked all frustrated. They got them offhand. They're skimming on stalkers, skimming and slim on stalkers. Didn't have any on hand because, like I said, I didn't have an appointment, so it makes it hard for them. I'm like, oh, she's at the courthouse. I don't know, it took them 5, 10, 15 minutes to come down there. The stalkers they had on hand came out in their pajamas and stuff. And so as I'm leaving, the door is locked. And I don't know if they purposely locked it. And the civilian, one of them that was coming in, as I was coming in, you know, in the beginning, when I was first walking into the building, I said all those stalkers were gathering around me. And they're working like dogs. They had to have had a live feed, or they're sitting out in their cars. Anyway, is texting. Some people had to have texted him and said, oh, now Naughty's leaving the parking garage. You guys wait for her in that courtyard. And anyway, it was the same girl, civilian clothes, dirty clothes. Then all of a sudden, she came out of her room from the back. It looks like where the employees work. And she's dressed in dirty civilian clothes. And it was right after, like I couldn't get out of a door that was locked. And then again, they're humiliating and degrading themselves. Again, why would you show? I could never show someone I spot because of this. They're going to tell and then think that person's creepy and weird. Anyway, and ask them about it, you know, because they do not, that's what shocks me. I thought they would laugh and admit that, yeah, I thought they'd cross, yeah, we did that. But they get arms flailing. They act like they're so proud, but when the outside world criticize or ask them, the whole other behavior. Lip starts quivering. They act like, oh, you know, they lost their best friend, you know, on their mom in one day. Arms are flailing like they're screaming. They're acting like they're getting eaten by a great white shark or a dinosaur. That's their reaction when people ask them or criticize them. Like, were you really doing that? Were you really spying? You weirdo. Get away from her, you know. They're like, oh, why were you doing, you know? Because they act like they're in front of me. I don't believe that, though. I know they're humiliated. Anyway, the door's locked, and I pushed it, and it was locked. And right after that, the civilian I saw in the beginning that was stalking me in the courtyard before I came into the building, she comes out of a door where employees work, I think. And to make sure I knew that she was spying on me with the camera. And now what? So, now what? So, exactly, that's it. So, now nothing. Everything's still changed. Yeah, just to make sure I knew that, ooh, she was watching me through a camera. And that's really normal and sane and healthy and not obsessive. To make sure I knew she was spying on me and that everyone loves them and they managed to scrounge up some employees to give them that live feed because people still like them. As much as they're getting fuck smacked out of whack. They're all getting fuck smacked because they so out of whack. Fuck smack out of whack. And make sure I knew that, hey, we managed to scrounge up some employees and a cop. Just a few of those. And that doesn't compare. That's nowhere near the number of criticism we've received from thousands, hundreds of people that are on your side. So that means the very little help, they're trying to make it look like the whole city's in on it. That small amount of mildew that's helping them, they're saying that, hey, we know a much bigger number of humans are helping you. But we managed to scrounge up this cop or scrounge up a couple stuff like that. And, yeah, so she came out to make sure I knew she was spying on me. And then something would happen. Magically, something would happen when she showed me. And then So when I left, again, they're all crowding, walking behind me, screaming, yelling. And then when I get in the garage, more screaming. And then more stalkers are waiting for me. They're screaming, yelling, coming out across the street. And then they're walking out right when I come in. Cars are blocking me. And then they're honking. And then again, when I'm backing my car out, blocking me, honking, stuff like that. And I honk back. And you know, the mayor's in charge of these garages. And so make sure, please send him emails and letters telling them what they're doing, telling him what they're doing. And say that they do it to you too, that you experience this too, and that you're female. And that this is how rapes and shootings start. And a cop is in on it. Cops is in on it. And so that happened, and then yeah, I drove home. Oh my God, I thought I was gonna be smashed to bits. I thought I was gonna die. I didn't realize, okay, you know, once you leave and you pay with your ticket, how that stick goes up and then down. Well, I didn't realize how I don't know, halfway in the street my car was. I mean, it looked like I was still in the driveway part, but then this huge white truck is driving fast. It goes, dee! I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And I was thinking, should I even bother to put my car in reverse, or should I just wait and see if it crashes into me, or wait and see if it moves and it doesn't crash into me? But I don't know. I didn't have time to think, so I just quickly put my car in reverse and backed up. And thank God no car was behind me. And then the big semi-white truck just drove by, and it looked like it didn't move at all. I don't know. I don't know if it moved to the left, so it wouldn't, but